Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Bulldog Weekly. I'm Christian.
And I'm Alyssa.
In this week's episode, we're going to be looking at some sports highlights, listening to some slam poetry, and finishing it all off with some omelet making.
But before we get into any of that, let's start it off with the week ahead from our principal, Mr. Devoll.
Hello, it's the Rundown. It's Sunday, February 27th. It's the end of vacation. Moment of silence for the vacation. Okay. Day 1, February 26th, Monday. That's all I can say about that day. There's nothing else happening, but we're happy you're back at school. Tuesday, February 27th is day 2 in our schedule. The Mass Educational Financial Authority, I guess that's the college financial aid group for the state of Massachusetts, is coming for a parent night all about financial aid and paying for college. We recommend parents attend 6:30 in our media center. Wednesday, February 28th, day 3 in our cycle, we have a Healthy Tri-Town meeting at 9 a.m. Thursday, March 1st, wow, we're in March. Day 4, 1 hour delay. So students don't have to be in homeroom until 8:30 a.m. It's also 8th grade parent information night in the cafeteria at 6:30. We'll be talking about the program of studies and how to register for courses at Old Rochester. Friday, March 2nd, day 5 in our schedule. That's it. Monday and Friday have nothing. It's a boring week. We're back after vacation. Stay tuned for some sports tournament games. We don't know when they'll be yet, but as soon as we know, you'll know. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Devoll, for that informative update. Now, on to sports.
We were able to film the boys basketball team face off against Chase and Norton. Let's watch some of the best moments in this week's sports highlights.
That game-winning layup by Bennett Fox was incredible last Friday.
It sure was, but now let's move on to something different.
Recently, we were able to film students reciting poems at Poetry Out Loud. Let's check it out.
All right, welcome everybody, and thank you for coming to our third annual Poetry Out Loud competition, and the most recent run of competition in Old Rochester. So good luck to all of our contestants, and thanks for coming.
My poem is Breakfast by Mary Lamb.
Piano by D.H. Lawrence.
Midnight Office by Cynthia Cruz.
Katrina by Patricia Smith.
The Lamb by Linda Gregg.
What the Oracle Said by Shara McCollum.
The dinner party, coffee, tea, sandwich, or supper all may be, in their own way, pleasant.
Sitting under a piano in the boom of the tingling strings, and pressing on the small, poised feet of a mother who smiles as she sings.
He put the word back into her, a heavy kind of music. Then she was free, as we all are.
A tilt and out of sync with all that moves and doesn't. Through years of trial and mostly error, did I study this unsteady way?
A bombed English church. I was too young to know the word English or war, but I knew the picture.
Pinwheels whirled from church steeples in place of crosses. This way is death, and this way after a longer walk is death, and that way is death.
All night I stood in the icy wind, praying for the storm to destroy me.
Now, although I would not slight those kindly words he used goodnight,
Storms will follow in your wake, destroying all those who take you in. You will desert your children, kill your lovers.
She does the dealing, gives him the money in the end, but she falls in love with him.
To the old Sunday evenings at home with winter outside, and hymns in the cozy parlor, the tinkling piano our guide. So now it is vain that the singer burst into clamor with the great black piano appassionato. The glamour of childish days is upon me.
I was bitch monickered, hipped. I hefted a whip rein, a swirling sheet of grit. Scraping toward the first of you, hungering for wood, walls, unturned skin.
please don't tell the flowers. They think the sun loves them. The grass is under the same simple-minded impression.
The cathedral, with its roof blown off, was not less godly. The church was the same, plus rain and sky. Birds flew in and out of the holes God's fists made in the walls.
You gripped my forearm in your terrible swift hand and said, "She is everything." You gave me a shake. Everything.
But when you moved through me, like I was a hologram.
And then you fell back into the well, deep in the well of everything. And I stand at the edge and call, chair, book, daughter, soup.
If you'd like to join the Poetry Club, they meet up Tuesdays after school in the library computer lab.
Hey Christian, all this anchoring sure is making me hungry.
Well, lucky for you, we have our second installment of You Hungry coming up. In this one, Mike is going to be making a classic omelet. Let's check it out.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Michael Evans, and welcome to this week's episode of You Hungry? So today we're going to go pretty basic because, as everyone can see, it is just me. So we're going to do pretty quick and easy kind of thing going on here. So today we will be doing omelets. Yes, the best breakfast for anybody out there that is hungry for eggs, meat, cheese, vegetables, and anything else that goes into your palate for breakfast. Yes. So I pretty much got some basic stuff here for a basic omelet. I got 3 eggs, if anybody wants to keep track of this, to do it at home. I have some Black Forest ham, some basil, green pepper chopped up. However you chop it up measurement-wise is all up to you. And I got some Swiss cheese. That's the one with the holes in it. Don't get confused when you go buy it. So let's begin. So first thing you're going to want to do is turn on the stove. So we're going to turn it on. Now it's on. Then you're going to want to put something in the pan to make sure that the egg doesn't like burn on the edges and stick to it. You can use butter. I hear some people use margarine. Even some people use just a tiny, tiny bit of oil. But for me, I used pan non-sticking spray. It's pretty basic. So while that's heating up, something that we can do is whisk the eggs. So I use a fork because I don't have a tiny whisk. So what you want to do is to break up the yolk as quick as possible and then kind of do a whiskey motion is what you would call it. Just to, break it all up, mix the whites with the yolks as evenly as you can. Pretty fun, huh? Little trick that I learned from somebody in the food industry is that if you want to have more eggs, but don't want to use like as many eggs as you're putting in, you can add milk or water to kind of make it expand and have more. So there's a little fun fact and tidbit for you. So it's pretty warm up now, so we're gonna dump the egg mixture in there. Try to get as much as you can. So that's less dishes for you. All right, so now that's gonna heat up. You wanna make sure you have spatulas. I have 2, just in case if I lose one, because I'm that kind of guy. So now we wait. So I guess while we're waiting for the yolk to scramble up, I guess let's tell some egg jokes. So, why did the egg cross the road? To get to the Shell station. Where is the best place to learn about eggs? In the Henclopedia. Knock knock. Who's there? Omelet. Omelet who? Omelet smarter than I look. Why can't you tease egg whites? Because they can't take a yolk.
Ha ha!
All right, so now that the runniness yolk is starting to scramble up into real egg, we're gonna just take it off the heat for a little bit because you don't want it to burn while you're doing this process. Some people like to do it slowly and delicately. So I'm gonna start by adding the ingredients, which I have over here, which again is Swiss cheese, Black Forest ham, green pepper, and basil. Feel free to use these ingredients or whatever else you feel like adding to your omelet. You can add like pretty much anything to an omelet, actually. So we're gonna add just a tiny bit of basil. I brought extra just in case. Some peppers. Love peppers in mine. Always tastes good. And some hummus to give it some meaty texture and flavor. Once you have all your ingredients there, put it back on the heat. That's right. Weird stuff. Alright, so now comes the biggest test of all when cooking an omelet, the flip. So some people like to flip it all the way, and some people do it halfway, and some people do 2 quarters of the way. So, let's see what I pull off. Yeah, pretty decent. Pretty good flip. I'd say a success in some things. Not most, but in omelets, success. So now, even more fun, we wait again for the insides to cook. So interesting. All right, our omelet is done, so now we're gonna put it on this awesome plate right here. So, very carefully plate it. There we go. Got that done. And a little tip, if you guys work in a restaurant, is to always wipe off the plate of any stragglers or anything like that. And I went for a very basic design, but you can also make your omelet look a little better if you put a little herbs on the top or anything to give it more color around. So we're just gonna add a little basil, just in case if you guys ever wanted it to look amazing. And then you have your easy omelet. So this has been kind of a interesting episode of You Hungry? So happy that I was able to do this by myself because that's all you need to make an omelet. So thank you for watching this part of You Hungry? See ya.
Teachers and students, if you would like to have something filmed and put on Bulldog Weekly, just let us know at the ORC TV station.
Be sure to check out our channel on Vimeo for everything we film here at ORC TV. We cover sports games, town meetings, school events, and so much more.
Well, that'll about do it for this week's episode. Until next time, I'm Christian.
And I'm Alyssa. And this is Bulldog Weekly.